This is the time of year that soil testing is in full swing. The sweet spot is just a few weeks before freeze-up. Most microbial processes have stopped, and you'll have a fairly accurate read of what to expect to become available for the coming year. However, we can never know when freeze-up will come, and there are not enough soil sampling trucks or ATVs available to do it all at once. In this edition, I'll cover the basics as I see it, and point you to an article that I wrote, and one that a fellow agronomist wrote, on how to come up with your soil sampling strategy. So in case you're new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Scott Gillespie, and I'm an Alberta-based author, podcaster, and independent agronomy consultant. I focus on realistic regen ag. I provide advice-only agronomic services to my farm clients, offering unbiased recommendations free from product sales. In this podcast, I share science-based practices that promote environmental stewardship and farm profitability. The content of this episode is available in many formats. I have an email newsletter, a LinkedIn newsletter, a YouTube video, and is also published to podcast. So in my latest article for Better Farming Prairies, called Test Smarter to Spend Less, I explain how spending just a few dollars per acre on soil testing can save thousands in fertilizer costs. I've seen over the years that testing pays in two ways. It helps prevent over and under application, and it lets you time fertilizer purchases for when the market prices line up in your favor. When I read a soil test, I start with organic matter, electrical conductivity, which is salts, and pH. Together they give me a quick report card on how the soil's been managed or its inherent issues. From there I look at nutrients like phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, and nitrate nitrogen to see what's available and what's missing. I've also followed the rise of soil health testing with interest, but I'm still cautious. While the idea is promising, many of these tests aren't calibrated for prairie conditions or tied to yield responses. A few, like organic carbon, carbon mineralization potential, and aggregate stability, show potential, but I think we still need more time and research before they're ready for everyday use. As precision agriculture becomes more common, I've found zone-based sampling using yield maps, topography, texture mapping, and satellite imagery is a great way to zero in on the variability and make fertilizer dollars go further. To dive in deeper, please check out the original article. The link will be in the transcript, and that link is in the episode description. So here's another take on soil sampling from a fellow agronomist and a guy that I know from sitting on the Prairie Certified Crop Advisors Board alongside with. It's called Soil Sampling Strategies: What's the Right Approach for You? Now, I've never been keen on grid sampling, but he mentions a use case that I never thought of. When the variability is mostly human-caused, for example, previous field divisions or ownership, then the grid might find things that soil mapping does not. Now, let's go way back to 6 years ago when I was just starting the podcast. I put together an episode on soil health test, which later became a chapter in my book, Practical Regeneration. It's called Soil Health Tests: Are They Worth It? My conclusion then was that they weren't ready yet. I still feel that way, though if you read my Better Farming Prairies article, you'll find that I'm now seeing tests that make more sense to use. And finally, precision 4R cuts greenhouse gas emissions. Now, I'm all about finding things that are good for the farmer and good for the environment. In this case, following the 4Rs, which are the right fertilizer source, rate, time, and place, can also have benefits for the planet. If we over-fertilize the lower, wetter areas, they can release more nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas that is 273 times worse than carbon dioxide. The research in this article looked at zoning out the fields and tracking the emissions and economics. Personally, I found that mapping fields and applying variable rate has led to more even crops. So this research just furthers that there could be a win-win-win for the producer, society, and the environment. So thanks for your attention. If something resonated, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Also, sharing this edition on your social networks, whether a post or to a small group of your friends, colleagues, or clients, is very much appreciated. You can support me by picking up a copy of my book, Practical Regeneration, or reaching out for agronomy support. All the information can be found on my website, www.plantsdigsoil.com. So here's to growing more, believing less, and always digging a little bit deeper.